Yes, thank you. Now, we did have that tornado watch in effect earlier this morning for the whole state of Michigan. And it was supposed to be in effect until 4 p.m. this afternoon, but earlier at around 12 p.m. this afternoon, NWS did cancel that watch, and most of our watches, we'll get into that in a little bit. But right now, what you're looking at right now is all the storm systems that we saw this morning. We had a lot of convection this morning that brought a lot of thunderstorms, and with that brought a lot of thunder and lightning to our area. But most of the severe weather is actually now to the south of us in the states of Ohio and Kentucky. So we are in the clear right now as that severe threat has diminished. And looking at our current alerts, all we're seeing is some leftover localized flood warnings for areas that are lower rising in our elevation. And lastly, looking at our severe tracker, most of Michigan is now in the non-severe, with really only concerns being our high winds and that localized flooding. But I'll give you a full forecast later on in the show. Back over to Joseph. Yes, thanks, Magdalena. I have a few headlines that we could be breaking down for us right now that, of course, like I said earlier, that severe threat has now been diminished for the state of Michigan. And we will be drying out as we head into this weekend. I'll be letting you know a little bit later into this hit how that is going to affect Easter. And as we head into next week, we are going to be seeing some above normal temperatures. So it is another positive headlines for us now that that severe weather has diminished. Our sky cam right now, we can still see some clouds looming over Mount Pleasant right there at the football field. Again, earlier today, we did see a lot of thunderstorms. But again, as those continue to head out, we are only left with these clouds and that slight potential for a few sprinkles, but nothing too severe to come through. Now, looking at our current temperatures, this is giving us an excellent look at that temperature gradient of that cold front that is moving towards the east. Mount Pleasant right now 71 degrees, Clare 70 degrees, and over to the east of our state also in the lower 70-degree temps. But as you see over on the western side, Big Rapids starting to decrease 63, and even in Muskegon at 51, Ludington 49 degrees. That is that cold front that is moving eastwardly, and it will be bringing our temperatures back down into the 30s overnight. Yes, and that is going to be taking our highs for the next 2 days, also not as high as they were today. Let's actually take a look at our almanac and see if we broke any records for April 5th, as our average high is 51 degrees, but that record high is 79 degrees for April 5th, meaning that we did not reach that record. We were close, though, very much above normal. That average low is 32 degrees, and that we were seeing that last night with the record low 14 degrees, not nearly as cold, and our precipitation, again, just from this morning, a bit above average than normal for today. Tonight's forecast going to be 34 degrees again, right there in normal temperature range, mostly cloudy and breezy, a little bit windy. Let's take a look at those wind gusts as we move on through into Thursday morning into the afternoon. Gusts ranging from lower 30 mile per hours into the upper teens throughout the days. But as we get into our early weekend on Friday, all of that's going to be diminishing as well. And let's take a look at our temp outlook, where Michigan right there, 100% chance for the next 8 to 14 days that our temps are going to be above average. Yes, this is going to be a very hot one. Let's break down our precip real quick. Again, there's all that precipitation that left from this morning, really just leaving Mount Pleasant dry. A slight chance on Saturday morning into early afternoon for some rain, but nothing to accumulate and nothing too much to worry about. A quick look at our 7-day forecast right before I take you out. Again, a lot of that sun. You can see a lot of that sun for the next 7 days, even on Easter, but I'm going to be breaking down more of Easter later on in the show. But for now, I'm going to toss it back to all of our great hosts. Yeah, thanks, Joseph. Right now, I'm going to be taking a deeper dive into Easter Sunday. Yeah, that is this weekend, comes up pretty fast. And I'm going to be telling you whether or not we can see those Easter egg hunts outside or indoors. And I have good news for you this year. Those Easter egg hunts are going to be able to take place outside, as the sun will be out and our high will be sticking around 58. And I don't see any reason that it could also get up to that high of 60 as well. So it's going to be pretty comfortable outside, maybe just a light jacket or a sweatshirt. But again, no precipitation in the forecast thus far, meaning that you can go ahead, have all of your festivities outdoors. That is super exciting. Our extended rainfall forecasts, again, this is for the 5-day outlook. We can see that northern part of Michigan pretty precipitable. That's because it is taking in part today. What happened today and all of that, and the rest of the days were dry. Taking one more look back at temperatures, again, we're starting to see that decrease. Now Mount Pleasant at 69, Alma, and again, most of mid-Michigan now the lower 70s from the east, and over onto the west side, Big Rapids dropping now to 62, and still over on the lake, pretty cool in the upper 40s, low 50s, and that cold front's still going to make its way through, drop our temperatures back down into those 30s, like I said earlier, and those highs for tomorrow aren't going to be as warm as they were today. But don't worry, because the 70-degree temps are going to be returning, but not until next week. Let's break it down for you a little bit more right now in our 7-day forecast. Tomorrow, going to be mostly sunny and breezy. Again, that high only reaching up to the upper 40s. Friday, similar story. As we head into the weekend, though, our high temps are going to increase by the time we reach Easter Sunday, 58. And on Monday, Tuesday, that's when we're going to be seeing those temps really increase and above normal for this time of year. Monday, 62 high. Tuesday, 70-degree high. And Wednesday also sticking around with 67 degrees. And as you can see on all of those icons, all sun for the next 7 days with, again, on Saturday, that slight 10% chance of rain for the early morning into afternoon. But again, it'll dry out for a really nice and dry Easter. But for now, I'm going to be tossing it back over to Joseph and Magdalena.